That case actually resulted in us identifying offenders who were committing multiple break-and-enters, car prowlings, and thefts within Calgary, who had actually arrived from outside of the city of Calgary. They were drug addicts themselves with some mental health issues, and they'd been committing these offenses unknown and undetected for a few months until this case came forward to us and then essentially broke wide open. And so we were able to solve multiple crimes and stop these offenders from continuing their crimes in the city after identifying this. We also recovered the cameras, which was nice too. What we noticed was a trend where the traditional types of crime, like theft, shoplifting, break-and-enters, were transitioning more into the cyber realm, if you want to call it that. We saw an increase in the number of items being sold online on websites like Letgo, Facebook, Kijiji, Pink Bike, and we saw a need to address that unique cycle. In the past, oftentimes stolen property was being sold in amongst networks, whether it's drugs, friends, or even to pawn shops. And that was relatively easy to control. But once it moved to the online realm, we saw a need to develop covert capacity to address those needs and also to help lower the increase in property crimes. What we wanted to do with online stolen property was not just identify those individuals who were committing the actual offenses to steal the property. We also wanted to find the individuals who were selling the stolen property, with the idea being that if we're able to clamp down on individuals who are fencing or selling the stolen property, it'll decrease the likelihood that property gets stolen in the first place if it's unable to be sold.
They're a really good asset to us in that one of the ways that the property is converted into cash can be through online sales, through online sites, and of course we can provide them with lists of property that we've identified as being stolen, and then they can do their work to try to find that and get that back to our victims.
We've found that the risk has actually exceeded our expectations. We've been involved in foot pursuits. We have had people meet us driving stolen vehicles who have subsequently fled when we've tried to arrest them. And we found that in almost half of the cases where we're dealing with somebody selling stolen property, they are armed. And that's why our team exists, because we don't want members of the public to be meeting these individuals. There is a risk to people, and we prefer that we take on that risk ourselves. We've got the resources and the training to deal with it, as opposed to somebody putting themselves at risk.
When we return property to victims, family heirlooms, you know, when you look in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really mean much. You know, it's an old item, probably isn't worth much, but they have an emotional attachment to it, whether it's from their father or from their mother, grandmother, you know, brother, sister. You know, it means something to them. That's where they're happiest, and that's what makes me happiest.
It's one of the best feelings that I have as a police officer, to be able to return somebody's property that's been taken from them and is now posted online. That almost adds a second degree of victimization beyond the original offense. And to be able to do so in a way that's safe and can result in actually catching the original thief and offender is a great feeling.